Did we just get confirmation that we're going to actually be seeing an official announcement from Zebec in regard to the Ripple partnership? Well, that seems to be the case. And let me explain why in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice. So first of all, I was listening to his spaces, and it was, of course, a recap about XRP Las Vegas when it comes to Zebec. And I'll play a very short clip when it comes to that, so I'm just going to play it. So listen to this one.
So many people really looking for that like official announcement, etc. I know you've got that in the works, right?
Exactly. We don't want to rush things.
Exactly. Okay. Well,
now, did you hear that, right? So basically, they're going to be announcing the Ripple partnership, but they're going to take their sweet old time. That's the way to take a look at it. But at least we got confirmation that they're going to be releasing it eventually, right? Maybe it might not happen tomorrow or in the next 2 days, who knows, but they're eventually going to be releasing it. We heard it from Simon himself. So when I take a look at that right there, I think it's a big thumbs up, and I think it will really change the sentiment when it comes to Zebec overall. And of course, Simon is the CEO of Zebec. And basically, the reason why I want to point this out is very simple, because this whole time I've been making videos saying that, you know what, Simon, the CEO of Zebec, has made an official announcement at XRP Las Vegas that indeed there is a Ripple partnership. But the main point of contention for the longest time has been that, you know what, okay, maybe he said that, but how come there has been no official announcement yet when it comes to that officially from Zebec? So this is why I want to make this video, to kind of clarify further what I mean, because every time I made a video saying that, you know what, Simon, the CEO of Zebec, said that there is a Ripple partnership, he announced it at XRP Las Vegas, a lot of people kept saying, oh, that's not true, you know, they haven't made an official announcement when it comes to that. But actually, Simon did, you know, mention about a Ripple partnership at XRP Las Vegas, but I'm making this video showcasing how they're confirming that they're basically going to be releasing it officially eventually. But that's just the way I take a look at it, right? Just a clarification, basically, on my part. People like to say, but when it comes to Zebec, as of late, they've been talking too much about compliance. They've been talking too much about ISO 20022, MICA, SOC2. Why do they keep talking about this? People sometimes like to ask me that. Well, I think here's the thing. Zebec, it's focused on institutional adoption, right? So to handle institutional adoption, the core infrastructure, the backbone, so to speak, the foundation, it has to be there. It's like, for instance, if we take a look at a building, a 2-story building, it's going to be constructed in a different way than a 10-story building, and so on, right? The foundation is going to be different. So yes, ordinarily, let's say, a project that's more so focused on the retail side of things, maybe let's say a meme and stuff like that, I don't know if they'd care too much about ISO 20022, MICA, SOC2. I don't know if they'd care about that. But for a project like Zebec that is really focused on institutional adoption, that type of stuff does matter. The compliance side of things, it does matter. Keep in mind, right? Zebec, historically, they acquired something called GateKnox, and GateKnox is very focused on compliance. So I think that was a smart move when it comes to Zebec. Other projects out there, if they have things coming in, they usually spend it for random nonsense. But when it comes to Zebec, they actually spend it on even having acquisitions, right? For other entities out there that could actually benefit them. So I think that is a big thumbs up for me. I think their capital allocation in that sense was a little bit more wise than some other projects out there. And I think it's a genius move, again, to have the compliance side of things kind of out of the way, in a sense where they kind of did all that. So now they have more of a open, I guess, path to kind of chase institutional adoption in a bigger scale. Like, for instance, chase other future partnerships. That's the thing. That gives them the solid foundation. Again, like ISO 20022, MICA, SOC2. And I think it's crucial, because if we just want to put an analogy, right? Let's say a car. Like, I know some people out there, when they try to modify their car, they're so focused on the engine. They're so focused on increasing the performance and stuff like this. But sometimes the car, they kind of neglect the forged internals of it. So what happens? They make this engine really powerful, but they don't consider the brakes. They don't consider the transmission. They don't consider all this type of stuff, in which case it was fine for the engine before it got modified. But what happens once this engine becomes more powerful? What happens if there's more power, right? Sometimes the transmission, the brakes and all this, it wasn't designed to handle that. That's the thing. Sometimes people don't focus on the forge internals, but then they just focus on kind of the engine, so to speak. It's kind of like in this space. Sometimes people out there, they talk about this project and another project, whatever, right? But sometimes I see the fundamentals. I'm like, okay, this project says they're trying to chase institutional adoption, but I don't see MICA, I don't see SOC2, I don't see ISO 20022, especially when it comes to some of these projects out there that are focused on the global trade and finance space. But it doesn't make sense. So they're saying that they want to focus on institutional adoption, but they don't have the quote-unquote forged internals to kind of handle that, right? That's the way to take a look at it. They don't have the foundation. So I do like that when it comes to Zebec. They're focused on the foundation first before, moving on to even bigger partnerships moving forward. Granted, though, the Algorand partnership was already amazing. The Stellar partnership was just a cherry on top. And then the Ripple partnership was an even bigger cherry on top. So when I take a look at, let's say in the case of Zebec, hopefully soon, right, announcing that Ripple partnership officially, that would be a total needle mover, in my opinion. In terms of the sentiment, I think it would move the needle because we take a look at this right here. For instance, Zebec has almost 105,000 holders as of right now. We've seen the amount of holders actually ever since Simon announced the Ripple partnership, at XRP Las Vegas. Ever since then, even though it was kind of more so hidden, that sort of news, the thing is, even that alone kind of already affected the amount of holders when it comes to Zebec. So them actually later on announcing that Ripple partnership in a more official way later, that would, I think, again, just affect the sentiment a lot more. Personally, this is my opinion. I don't think it would just automatically, alter the price charts. No, I think that depends on a broader change in market sentiment. But I think in terms of the sentiment, in terms of the fundamentals, it would have kind of affected, in my opinion, in terms of, Zebec. And by the way, did you know that Simon says in the next couple of days that they're going to be releasing the full keynote of Simon at XRP Las Vegas? So that I think is going to be pretty awesome, right? Because even that in and of itself could already be considered more so an official announcement if, let's say, they do, release the footage, right, from XRP Las Vegas in which Simon was a keynote speaker there. He spoke right after Brad Garlinghouse, by the way, the CEO of Ripple. But besides that, if they release that footage, again, that could be considered more so of a official announcement in a sense. But the official one would be actually like Zebec posting about it formally. That I think would be the most official one. But if they manage to upload, I suppose, the footage before they make the official announcement, it would be, I guess, somewhat an official announcement in a sense, right? But it would just be from the form of a footage of Simon speaking at XRP Las Vegas. So either way, who knows what they're planning to do with that? Are they going to announce the Ripple partnership formally before the video is uploaded or after? We'll wait and see. But either way, again, for me not watching, I guess, like listening, right, to the Spaces event that, Zebec had recently, and that clip that I showed, again, it showcased that, they're going to be announcing it, but they're taking their time. So when I take a look at that right there, it's totally fine by me. I've waited for over a year when it comes to Zebec. So if they're going to announce it in the next couple days or in the next couple weeks or whatever, so be it. I've been waiting for over a year anyways. And for a good portion of that over a year, I did not know that Zebec was going to have a Ripple partnership, right? For quite a while, what good partnership did really Zebec even have, right? For quite a while, not much to go off of, actually. But now, we're kind of seeing the engine start a little bit, right? From the Algorand partnership, the Stellar partnership, and the Ripple partnership and all that. So when I take a look at Zebec, I seem to like the hypothetical progression that it's been making in terms of the partnerships. But in terms of the charts, yeah, still around below a 340 million market cap. Really not much to be excited about as of right now. But you know what? At the end of the day, if the project keeps building, if they keep doing things, I do like that, especially heading later on when it comes to a broader change in market sentiment, or if, let's say, there's like a altcoin season, maybe. We'll wait and see. But if there is one, I think these fundamentals, they do matter a lot. So what I like about Zebec, just like the analogy that I used earlier on in this video, I feel like they're improving the forged internals first before they're kind of really focused on, I guess, upgrading the engine, right? So I do like that. And again, when I see a project out there that's so focused on compliance, I think it showcases the forward-thinking mindset that they have. And I think it also showcases their foresight, because a lot of enterprises out there, they want to know that what they're partnering up with is compliant. They want to know that. So I do like seeing that when it comes to Zebec. But yeah, I'll be sure to make more updated videos moving forward when it comes to Zebec. So hopefully y'all stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.